friends a long time. We've shared houses. So.
Stop now.
Be frightened.
I'll let him carry on.
Well, I must admit I was quite nervous about doing this speech today, so I did quite a lot of research on the internet. I looked around for kind of sample speeches and the things I should say. And they all said that I should start off by saying how beautiful the bridesmaids are and how Amy steals the show. But kind of all those words didn't really mean anything until we were standing in the church and Ian and I turned around to see Amy entering the church, and it was quite a breathtaking moment really when Amy came in and the bridesmaids followed her.
Very nice.
Well, the duties of the best man include organising the stag do, and although most of you know, doing this job for Ian wouldn't be easy. 3 separate stag do's. Just attending all 3 forced me to move to California to detox. All of the stag do's went pretty much without a hitch, but we have to admit, Ian, that the buggy racing place, we did ask him to add 10 seconds onto your time. The next duty of the best man is to get the groom to the church on time. No inconsiderable task, considering I had a 6,000-mile commute to be here today. And neither me or Ian are well known as morning people. So I have to give a big thanks to LJ for cooking us a fantastic fry-up this morning, getting us all going. And we did have one small moment of panic when Ian realised that Amy had taken the hairdryer with her. The hair on Ian's head, Ian wanted to dry the hair on his back. I think the final duty of the best man, and I suppose the most important one, is to deliver this speech. I think I'm supposed to paint a picture of Ian and how he's developed through the mists of time, through the missing link, to be the thoroughly modern man he's seen. Well, I've known Ian for about 20 years. It sounds amazing to say that, but it all started when I was about 12, Ian was about 11, in Colonel Griffin's school lunch hall, when a skinny, slightly hairy 11-year-old boy, and a theme that was set to continue through most of our dealings, he drove a hard bargain and negotiated the best price for my technical Lego set. Now, I'm told that young Ian Stackhouse was a very fussy eater, demanding tomato sauce with his roast dinners, and once locking himself in the pantry and eating a whole packet of fun-sized Mars bars. And it really is a measure of how perfect Ian and Amy are together, because Amy, using all of her years of training as a primary school teacher, has managed to train Ian to finally eat vegetables, and I actually saw him order a salad. Ian's early sporting achievements include a 24-hour Subbuteo match. He did have a promising 10-pin bowling career until on one of his birthdays, when he set off to bowl, his fingers got jammed in the ball. He followed the ball most of the way down the alley. Now, for the past 3 months I've been racking my brains trying to think of some moments I could tell you about through our time in the sixth form and our late teens and early 20s. My memory of those times are all a little bit hazy. I'm not sure we could really repeat many of those stories. All I can really remember are the legendary parties Ian used to throw when his parents went away on holiday. Who could forget the tented village that set up in the back garden as soon as his parents pulled out of the drive? And of course those very dangerous trips to the 24-hour garage to get snacks. Not all of you know that Ian's first choice to university was to be a mathematician. Now the reason for this could be traced back to an early incident when Ian very kindly offered to do one of his classmates' maths homework for him. Of course, after doing this homework, Ian was very tired and forgot to hand in his own, which resulted in Ian being placed in a very low set for which could be the reason that robbed the world of a very talented mathematician. Or maybe John Hayes saved us all a lot of trouble. Following this, days, Ian went off to Portsmouth University and threw himself fully into university life. He was, of course, the president of the University of Portsmouth Mountaineering Club 2 years running, which allowed him to indulge two of his favourite pastimes, climbing and spending other people's money. He made sure that the club and himself had the latest cutting-edge gear at all times, including a North Face tent, which he tested by setting up in his own front room and then taking on a trip to the Alps. And he may have forgotten to peg it out, and it may have bounced away down the glacier. I have to admit that I also benefited from Ian's presidency in the climbing club. I got to go along on many of the trips, and that's where I got my love of climbing from. Now, I can't really let the speech pass without telling at least one of Ian's car stories. And there are many more, so come and see me later if you want to hear another one. These days, Ian is much more of a motorway cruiser, racking up the miles between construction sites, but he was well known back in the day as a bit of a boy racer. Something that I'm sure Cheryl could tell you about. As the first time she met him, we were up on the chase for a walk in the sun over the summer, and as we were driving back down the gravel roads off the chase, the car came round the corner at great speed and forced Ian off the road. He had to take evasive action very rapidly, causing damage to the car. When we eventually got the car back home, Ian's dad demanded an explanation, and that's the story that Ian told him. It's also the scene that I helped to recreate the next day in Clio, where we went up onto the chase at the exact same spot and did handbrake turns and wheel spins. I'll leave that to a little over-dinner conversation with your dad. I have to say that anybody who's lucky enough to know Ian will know that one of the best things about him is his infectious enthusiasm, and how just spending time with Ian lands you up having adventures as they just seem to occur around. Well, it was about 4.5 years ago when I was living in Derby when Ian and Amy first got together. Ian was up visiting me and Lucy and Amy came up from London. We went out to one of the most salubrious night spots in Derby, the Blue Note. It's known for its cheap drinks and a sticky floor. And Ian and Amy finished the night dancing away on the podium. Over the next few years, Ian made regular trips down to Tunbridge Wells in his MX-5, and Amy made regular trips up the M1 to Chesterfield to visit him, singing all the way in her Clio. Not long after that, Amy moved up into the house in the New Wit, followed by Bob the cat very closely. They both did a lot of DIY and work on the house, and then they moved into the new place up in Totley. I guess to finish, I really just wanted to wish you both the best of luck, and to say that you're perfect together, really. And I'm getting tongue-tied now as well. I don't really know what to say other than. Yeah, it's time to do the toast, I think. Well, I hope you've all got some champagne left after all those toasts, and you'll join me in this. A toast to Ian and Amy Stackhouse. To the bride and groom.
To the bride and groom! Yeah!
Oh yeah. Especially look, you'll follow him out.